Imagine living in a land where winters plunge below -40 degrees Celsius, where the horizon stretches endlessly and survival depends on what you can carry and what you can keep. For centuries, Mongolians have thrived here, not because of modern storage or convenience, but because of tradition. Their secret, foods that never spoil. From sun-dried meat to rock-hard curd, these aren't just rations. They're relics of resilience, crafted through patience, air, and time. Each bite carries history, the echo of horse hooves, the whisper of cold winds, the wisdom of survival. In this video, we'll explore 20 traditional foods that Mongolians have cherished and stored for generations, and discover why they've lasted through centuries of harsh winters and changing times. Some of these may completely transform how you think about food and survival. It looks like strips of brown leather, dry, light, and unassuming. But to the Mongolians, Borts is life itself, meat transformed into survival. On the open steppe, where temperatures swing from scorching heat to deadly cold, refrigeration is a dream. Centuries ago, nomads discovered how to make meat last not for weeks, but for years. They sliced it thin, hung it high in the dry wind, and let the fierce Mongolian air do the rest. The result was pure, preserved protein, light as air, strong as iron. Just a few strands could feed a traveler for days. Boiled in water, it came back to life, rich, smoky, and powerful, like the steppe itself. For generations, Mongolians carried Borts across deserts and wars. It wasn't just food, it was freedom, proof that survival could fit in a saddlebag. Even today, every herder knows its worth. Light as grass, strong as steel, eternal as wind. But meat wasn't their only miracle. Wait until you see what they did with milk, turning it into food that never spoils, even under the harshest skies. It looks like smooth white stones scattered across the steppe. But to Mongolians, Aaruul is milk turned immortal. After milking their animals, herders let the fresh milk sour and curdle under the open air. The curds are strained, shaped, and left to dry beneath the fierce summer sun. The result? A rock-hard, tangy cheese that can last for years. No salt, no fridge, no secret, but patience. During harsh winters, when grass disappears and herds thin out, Aaruul becomes life itself. A single piece softens in tea or broth, giving back the energy of a full meal. Children gnaw on it like candy. Elders treasure it as medicine. Its flavor, sharp, creamy, wild, tells the story of animals, wind, and survival. It's not a snack, it's a legacy, passed from generation to generation in leather pouches and wooden bowls. Even today, families still make it the same way, under the same sun, on the same land. But the Mongolians didn't stop there. Some curds they dried, others they melted, creating something richer, darker, a taste born from flame itself. It's pale gold and solid as the steppe wind. Byaslag, the Mongolian hard cheese, has been carved, dried, and cherished for generations. Unlike European cheeses that rely on cellars and molds, Byaslag is born under the open sun. It starts with fresh milk from yak, cow, or goat, gently heated until it curdles. The curds are pressed into wooden molds, salted, and left to dry in the clean mountain air. No refrigeration, no machines, just time, patience, and nature's perfect rhythm. As it hardens, the cheese absorbs the taste of grass, smoke, and wind, the essence of Mongolia itself. Sliced thin, it's firm and salty. Shaved into tea, it melts into comfort. Byaslag can last months or even years, feeding herders through long winters. It's more than food, it's endurance in edible form. Every block tells a story of milk transformed into strength, of families surviving by the will of the wind. But not all Mongolian milk ends up solid. Some of it is dried, tucked away, and revived years later, alive, bubbling, and ready to breathe again. It starts as steam, rising from boiled milk, a scent every Mongolian knows by heart. When the curds are lifted out to make cheese, what's left behind isn't waste. It's Eezgii, the golden residue of milk's final breath. The liquid is simmered again until it thickens, darkens, and turns into tiny, caramel-colored crumbs. Then it's left to dry beneath the summer sun, rich, nutty, and nearly indestructible. Once hardened, Eezgii can last for years, tucked away in cloth bags or packed for journeys across the plains. Its flavor is unlike anything else, sweet, smoky, and faintly buttery, like milk reborn through fire. It's eaten dry as a snack or softened in tea on cold mornings, melting into warmth and memory. For nomads, Eezgii is proof that nothing from milk should ever be wasted. Every drop has a purpose, every stage a lesson in patience. Even today, its scent fills gers at dawn, the quiet music of milk turning to magic. But as the milk cools, another wonder begins to form. Not crumbly or dry, but soft and white, a delicacy that captures the taste of clouds. They look like ivory stones stacked neatly on a wooden tray, firm, pale, and glowing in the morning light. These are Süün Khuruud, Mongolia's dried milk cakes, the purest form of nourishment carved from patience itself. Made by simmering milk until it thickens, the creamy mass is pressed into blocks, cut, and left to dry in the open air. Days later, the cakes harden into smooth, chalk-white pieces that can last for years without spoiling. No sugar, no salt, just milk and time. Their flavor is gentle but full, creamy, slightly tangy, with a whisper of smoke from the summer breeze. Children chew them like candy. Travelers pack them as rations, and families keep them as tokens of home. In a world where food fades fast, Süün Khuruud endures, light enough to carry, strong enough to sustain, and pure enough to symbolize life itself. To Mongolians, it's more than food. It's the taste of comfort, of morning sun and quiet labor. But some milk isn't meant to stay solid. When it's left to ferment, it turns wild, alive with bubbles and spirit, a drink that breathes and never dies. It looks like pale dust wrapped in cloth, motionless and silent, yet inside it sleeps something alive. Tarag starter, the dried yogurt culture that carries Mongolia's living history. Every family guards its Tarag like an heirloom. Passed down through generations, it links ancestors to the present through a single spoonful of life. To make it, fresh yogurt is spread thin and dried by the steppe wind. Once hardened, it can be kept for months, even years, until needed again. Add it to warm milk, and it awakens, bubbling with new life. This is more than fermentation, it's resurrection. From a handful of powder comes the same tangy yogurt that once nourished riders, herders, and kings. During harsh winters, Tarag revives strength when nothing else remained. It has no expiration, only rest, waiting patiently until someone stirs it back to motion. Every revival feels like a conversation with the past, a reminder that traditions don't die, they sleep. And somewhere out there, beneath the endless Mongolian sky, another drink ferments quietly, wild, fizzy, and alive with the taste of freedom. The first sip hits like a spark, cool, sharp, alive. This is Tarag, Mongolia's fermented yogurt drink, a liquid born from the wild heartbeat of the steppe. Before science named probiotics, nomads trusted the air. Fresh mare's or cow's milk was poured into leather bags and left near the gear door, stirred by wind and sunlight. Slowly, it transformed, fizzing, tangy, filled with invisible life. It wasn't made to please, it was made to endure. Every gulp carried energy. It refreshed riders after long journeys and restored those weary from the sun. No chemicals, no refrigeration, only patience and the steady rhythm of the land. Tarag doesn't spoil easily. It's already alive, already perfect. To drink it is to taste motion, milk that has learned to breathe. Its bite wakes you, its calm lingers. It's not sweet, but it's honest. The flavor of resilience. When the last drop slides down, you feel the silence it leaves, that quiet power the land gives only to those who listen. Somewhere nearby, something golden stirs, thick with warmth and memory. Every gator hides a secret jar, heavy, golden, and warm even in winter. Inside it rests Holocene toes, Mongolia's preserved dairy fat, a food so pure it outlives the season itself. During the lush days of summer, herders churn butter until their arms ache, then melt it low and slow. What remains after the water is gone is essence, rich, clear, and immortal. Poured into clay pots or sealed in leather, Holocene toes becomes time suspended. It can last for years, unchanged by cold or heat. One spoonful stirred into tea brings strength, comfort, and memory. Its taste is soft, faintly nutty, echoing the warmth of long-forgotten sunlight. For travelers, it meant life, energy that refused to fade. Even now, every Mongolian family keeps a jar close. It's more than food, it's security, a quiet triumph stored on the shelf. Each glint of gold inside speaks of patience and foresight, a reminder that endurance isn't strength alone, but preparation. When the last bit melts into tea, it leaves behind not emptiness, but calm, the feeling of having outlasted the storm. Morning in Mongolia begins not with an alarm, but with a scent, milk simmering slowly over a quiet flame. From its surface rises Öröm, a golden layer of clotted cream so delicate it captures the very breath of dawn. It's lifted carefully, folded like silk, and set aside to cool. Soft and warm, it spreads easily over fresh bread. When dried, it hardens into sweet sheets that last for months. Each bite carries the taste of morning, gentle, creamy, and touched by smoke from the hearth. For Mongolian families, Öröm is hospitality made tangible. Guests are welcomed with it, children are rewarded with it, and elders savor it in silence. Its simplicity transformed into grace. Even after centuries, the process has never changed. Just milk, time, and patience. The result is a flavor so pure, it feels eternal, like sunlight you can taste. When the bowl is empty, the scent lingers faintly in the air, whispering of warmth that refuses to fade. A reminder that even in the hardest lands, gentleness survives. Not all Mongolian foods are born from hardship. Some are made for happiness. Sweetened Aaruul, the sun-hardened candy of the steppe, turns milk into laughter that lasts for years. Made from curdled milk mixed with honey or sugar, it's pressed, shaped, and dried beneath the endless blue sky. The result is hard as stone, yet softens on the tongue. Creamy, tangy, gently sweet. Children chew it on long rides. Travelers keep it close for warmth of spirit. It never spoils. It matures, like memory itself. Sweetened Aaruul is joy made durable. Sunlight, family, and celebration molded into one bite. Even in scarcity, it proves that delight can endure as strongly as survival. Its scent is faintly milky. Its crunch, a promise. There is still room for sweetness in a world built on endurance. And when that sweetness fades, the air thickens with smoke, a whisper of something heartier hanging to dry beneath the sky. It hangs in the cool air, dark and dense, a relic of survival. Dried sausage, made from blood or organ meat, tells of Mongolia's deep respect for life and mastery of preservation. When livestock are butchered, nothing is wasted. Blood is mixed with salt, herbs, and minced organ meat, then packed into natural casing. Hung above a smoky hearth, it dries for weeks, the air doing what no machine ever could. The result is firm, fragrant, and enduring. A single slice simmered in broth fills the room with strength. It feeds through winter, through hunger, through time itself. This is food born of gratitude, not comfort. Each piece a quiet promise of endurance. Families still craft it the same way. Slow, patient, deliberate. It's more than meat. It's memory shaped by smoke. And when the last link is gone, the fire softens, the scent fades, and somewhere nearby, dough begins to rise. They stand like golden stairways to heaven, tall, layered, and gleaming under the New Year's light. These are ul-bov, Mongolia's ceremonial dry biscuits, baked not just to be eaten, but to be honored. During Sagan Sar, the Lunar New Year, families prepare dozens of these ridged biscuits. Each piece is rolled, pressed, and baked until pale gold, then stacked into towers that rise higher with every generation. The tallest for the elders, the base for the young. Every tier represents blessings, health, unity, prosperity. Around them sit sweets and dairy offerings, a table built from love and tradition. Though they last for months, untouched, they never lose meaning. When finally shared, they crumble softly, filling the room with quiet joy. Their preservation secret lies in simplicity. Flour, butter, and thyme, baked dry enough to defy decay, rich enough to carry memory. To Mongolians, ul-bov isn't dessert. It's devotion made visible. A feast of patience, a monument to family. But when the celebration fades and the biscuits are gone, another scent rises. Oil hissing, dough puffing, laughter returning with something golden and alive. The sound comes first, a sharp hiss, a bubbling laugh from the pan. In that instant, Boortsog is born, Mongolia's golden pastry of joy and welcome. The dough is humble: flour, milk, butter, and a whisper of sugar. Shaped into knots or diamonds, it's dropped into hot oil until it puffs and turns the color of morning light. The air fills with sweetness. The gur breathes warmth and memory. Boortsog is shared with guests, packed for long rides, or served with milk tea after quiet meals. It isn't food for hunger, it's food for togetherness. Every family shapes it differently, but all make it with love. Its secret lies in balance: fat, air, and time. Once cooled, it stays crisp for weeks, a little piece of sunshine preserved. Even after the feast fades, Boortsog lingers in scent, in crumbs, in memory. And from the ashes of warmth, another bread rises, plain, dry, and made to travel forever. Dust, wind, and distance, Gambir was made to survive them all. Bread shaped by necessity, kept alive by memory. Wheat flour mixed with water and fat becomes a thin round pressed against a hot griddle. The surface blisters. The air fills with the scent of ash and warmth. Soft when new, crisp when dry, Gambir was the traveler's quiet companion. Humble, loyal, enough. Folded into saddle packs, it lasted weeks, even months. A splash of tea revived it instantly, its smoky flavor rising like an old song. There's no luxury here, only endurance. Nourishment written in simplicity. Even now, families still flatten dough beside open fires, the rhythm unchanged. To share Gambir is to share time itself, warmth traded between hands. Its taste is steady, earthy, eternal. And when the last ember fades, the wind carries a new scent: roasted grain, ground fine, and waiting to feed the next sunrise. The simplest foods are often the most eternal. Zambaa, roasted barley flour, is Mongolia's quiet miracle, dry as dust yet alive with history. Barley is roasted until golden, then ground to a soft, nutty powder. Mixed with milk, butter, or tea, it becomes a full meal in seconds. For centuries, it fed warriors, monks, and herders alike. Light to carry, rich enough to endure the coldest ride. Zambaa needs no fire. It's already kissed by one. It stores for years, never spoiling, holding the faint scent of smoke and balance. Its flavor is earthy and toasty, like the ground itself. Each bite feels ancient, a gift passed down through calloused hands and endless sky. Even today, herders stir it into tea at sunrise, tasting the same calm their ancestors knew. Because real strength doesn't roar, it whispers. And on the wind that follows, sweetness stirs again, the scent of fruit drying in the summer sun, promising life after silence. They glimmer like forgotten jewels in a land of stone, wrinkled, fragrant, and alive. Dried wild fruits are Mongolia's sweetest miracle of endurance. When summer races across the steppe, herders gather sea buckthorn, rose hips, cherries, and mountain berries. With no sugar or ovens, they trust the wind and sun. Fruits spread on felt mats dry under the open sky. The air steals moisture, the sun seals sweetness. What remains are leathery gems that never spoil, tart, tangy, filled with sunlight. In winter, they're steeped in tea or crushed into medicine, offering warmth when the world turns white. Their secret is harmony, dry air, thin altitude, and patience. Even today, families hang strands beside the hearth, bright reminders that warmth can be stored. Each bite recalls summer's promise, that sweetness survives even the longest cold. But beyond sweetness lies something deeper, the silent power of roots sleeping beneath the frost, waiting to feed life again. They look like bones pulled from the earth, gnarled, brittle, and sacred. Dried wild roots tell the story of a people who learned to dig survival from the soil itself. When winter erased the grasslands, Mongolians turned to the frozen ground for life. They unearthed wild onions, turnips, and healing herbs, slicing them thin and drying them beneath the fierce sun. With moisture gone, decay surrendered. These roots could last for years. Food in famine, medicine in peace. Each piece carried minerals, warmth, and the whisper of vanished seasons. Their taste is bitter, earthy, stubborn, endurance captured in flavor. Even now, herders chew them on long rides, believing they feed not just the body, but will itself. They smell of dust, wind, and ash, the perfume of survival. Proof that life begins again beneath hardship. And as the last root cracks between your teeth, the wind shifts, bringing the scent of salt, smoke, and meat drying in the open air. Smoke drifts like prayer over the riverbank. Strips of meat and fish hang from poles, darkening under the Mongolian sky. This is salted dried fish and game meat, food shaped by wind, salt, and patience. Centuries ago, nomads learned to tame decay. With no cold storage, they rubbed meat and fish with salt, stretched them thin, and left them in the dry northern air. The salt drew out moisture. The wind did the rest. Days later, the flesh turned light, firm, and eternal. Boiled in broth, it returned to life. Smoky, rich, and primal. Each bite tasted of fire, frost, and distance. It could travel for months, feed warriors, and sustain whole families. Even today, herders hang their catch the same way, trusting nature's rhythm over time's decay. And when the last strip is gone, the fire whispers again, calling forth a deeper secret hidden within the bones themselves. In the silence of winter, a pot simmers over glowing embers. Inside, liquid gold gathers, dried bone marrow fat, Mongolia's most concentrated source of life. When livestock are butchered, herders crack open the bones to release soft marrow. Melted slowly, strained, and cooled, it turns into pure fat. Thick, clean, everlasting. Once dried or sealed in leather, it defies frost and flame alike. Months later, it still gleams pale yellow, carrying the faint scent of smoke and fire. A spoonful stirred into tea or soup can warm the body through the harshest night. In famine, it meant survival. In peace, it meant generosity. Families guarded jars of marrow like treasure. Wealth measured not in gold, but endurance. Its secret is purity. Fat without water never rots. Perfection born from necessity. Even today, herders still render it the same way, watching the golden pool harden into patience itself. To taste it is to taste history condensed, energy made sacred. And as the last flame flickers low, the air shifts, carrying the scent of dried meat turning to dust, a final echo of strength preserved forever. It looks like dust and smells of thunder. Dried meat powder, born from Mongolia's legendary boars, is survival refined into dust. First, fresh meat is sliced thin and hung in open air, where wind and sun strip away every drop of moisture. Once bone dry, it's ground to a fine powder, feather-light, protein-rich, and almost immortal. Stored in bags of hide, it could travel across deserts, mountains, and wars without spoiling. Just a handful, stirred into boiling water, becomes stew again, smoky, savory, alive. Genghis Khan's horsemen carried it across continents, the world's first instant meal, a ration so efficient it powered an empire. Its secret is elemental. Remove water, and time can do nothing. Air cures it, sun blesses it, memory preserves it. Even centuries later, herders and soldiers still trust it because it works. Every grain is history reduced to essence, strength without weight, flavor without waste. It is Mongolia's most enduring invention, a food that never needed improvement. As the last spoonful dissolves, the cycle feels complete, from sunlight to marrow, from root to dust. From the windswept steppe to the heart of ancient empires, one truth remains. The Mongolians didn't just survive, they mastered endurance. Every dried root, every strip of meat carries the memory of a people shaped by the land. But beyond those plains lies another world, where preservation became philosophy. The Chinese didn't just store food, they stored wisdom. Every jar, every grain, every drop tells a story of harmony between man, time, and nature. So the question is, how did survival become art? Find out in this next video.